Welcome to the training session on Guardian Sync Properties, a powerful feature that allows BIM managers and administrators to maintain consistent Revit standards across all projects through cloud-based synchronization. In this session, we'll cover what Guardian Sync Properties is and how it works, the relationship between Guardian Cloud Properties and Project Properties, how to upload your firm standards to the cloud, how to download and sync standards across projects, and best practices for implementing automatic synchronization. Let's get started with understanding the fundamentals of Guardian Sync. Guardian Sync provides an easy and effective way for BIM managers and Guardian administrators to host their firm's Revit standards in the cloud and automatically sync across projects. For the remainder of the video, we're going to refer to Guardian Sync properties just as Guardian Sync. Guardian Sync provides a streamlined system for hosting your firm's Revit standards in the cloud, automatically synchronizing standards across projects, and maintaining consistency in all Revit properties. Guardian Sync operates through two main interfaces, Guardian Cloud and Guardian Project. Guardian Cloud Properties is accessed via the cloud icon in the Revit ribbon. Guardian Cloud Properties shows all the Revit properties hosted in the cloud, and of those cloud properties, those in the active Revit model. The goal is for Guardian Cloud to identify and download to the model of which properties in the cloud are not in the active Revit model. Guardian Project Properties is accessed via the project icon in the Revit ribbon. Guardian Project Properties shows all the Revit properties in the active Revit model, and of those properties, which are in the cloud. Identifies Revit properties to be uploaded to the cloud, and the goal of Guardian's project properties is to identify all of the properties in the Revit model and which of those are in or out of sync with the cloud. Think of these as complementary perspectives, top-down versus bottom-up. This is why the available Revit properties options are identical between the two drop-down menus. When first starting with Guardian, you will first need to upload all of your firm's Revit properties to the cloud. There are a few best practices when uploading your Revit properties to the cloud. Uploading the Revit properties to the cloud should be performed in the firm's Revit template or master container file, which contains all of the standard Revit properties. It is recommended to utilize Guardian's Project Properties dialog to clean the Revit template or master container file to only the firm's standards prior to upload to the cloud. Follow a strategic upload sequence. The uploading of Revit properties is to be performed under the Project menu. It is recommended to upload Revit properties in the following order due to dependent properties: line patterns, nested in line styles; fill patterns, nested in fill regions; arrowheads, nested in dimension and text styles and dimension styles, all remaining system family types. To start, within the line patterns dialog is the full list of all the line patterns in the active Revit model. By using Ctrl-A or Shift-Select, multiple line patterns can be selected to be uploaded to the cloud by clicking the Upload Sync button, at which point Guardian will scan to identify any duplicate line patterns in the cloud. To upload, one can either select the Upload All Remaining button to upload all line patterns at once, or one can select the Cloud button to upload individually. In this case, as there are some line patterns that are units dependent and the individual upload is selected, Guardian will then prompt to establish if the units are imperial, metric, or generic. In this case, imperial is selected as the line pattern is 5/8 inch. To continue uploading to the cloud, one must select one of two options. Upload and keep synchronized will upload the line pattern to the cloud and keep a sync relationship between those in the model and in the cloud. If the change is made to the line pattern on either side, Guardian will identify the line pattern as out of sync. Upload only will not retain a sync relationship once the line pattern is uploaded to the cloud. The green and cloud icon indicates the line patterns have been uploaded to the cloud and are synced. While not demonstrated, one would go through the same process to upload fill patterns, line styles, view filters, and shared parameters to the cloud. Focusing on the System Family Types dialog, the basic annotation types and symbols can be found here, in addition to the filled regions and viewports. Selecting the angular dimension styles will show all current angular dimension types in the active project. Within this dialog, all the settings for each type can be reviewed and edited. A useful tip is these dialogs are a great way to compare multiple system family types side by side to understand the differences between each other, rather than going back and forth between the type settings within Revit. By selecting Upload Sync, we'll initiate the upload process. As with many of Guardian's system family types, other system and loadable families are nested within. In this case, the arrowhead is nested within the angular dimension type and will be uploaded to the cloud as well. It is a best practice to start the arrowheads prior to uploading dimension and text styles. The same applies for the fill patterns or filled regions and line patterns for line styles. Select Upload All Remaining. Choose the correct units and select Upload and Keep Synchronized to complete the upload process. Selecting Level and selecting both level family types will provide a side-by-side comparison to fully review and edit the type settings prior to upload. As shown with the Guardian level, survey point, the elevation base is corrected prior to uploading to the cloud. Guardian confirms the centerline pattern assigned to the level family types is the same as the centerline patterns in the cloud, as per the previous upload of line patterns. Again, select Upload All Remaining, choose the correct units, and select Upload and Keep Synchronized to complete the upload process. We will quickly demonstrate the uploading of text styles and filled regions and not demonstrate the uploading of the remaining systems family types. As of this recording, only annotation-related system family types are available with Guardian Sync. Just to point out, the detail filled regions are uploaded separately for the model filled regions. Guardian Standard uses a naming convention to differentiate between the two. Now that all the Revit properties have been uploaded into the cloud, this can be seen under the Cloud drop-down menu. Just as a reminder, the Guardian Cloud Properties dialog and the Guardian Project Properties dialogs are identical in setup and basic functionality. The Guardian Cloud Properties dialog are a download function, while the Guardian Project Properties dialog are an upload function. By selecting line styles, all the line styles that are present in the cloud are listed. As mentioned earlier, the Guardian Cloud Properties show all the Revit properties hosted in the cloud, and of those cloud properties, which of those are in the active Revit model. This is indicated by the green In Project button. If a change to the standard is required, it can be uploaded within the dialog, at which point Guardian will indicate the line styles is out of sync with the project with the In Project button turning yellow. By selecting the In Project button, we can fix the relationship. Before finalizing the fix, one can compare the difference between the two. One can even reverse direction to set the correct settings between the two. The remaining system family type dialogs all provide the same comparison, edit, and download functionality and will not be demonstrated. Switching over to an active project that is out of sync with the Guardian Cloud Properties. By selecting All Cloud Properties, this dialog is meant for a high-level overview to compare the Revit properties in the cloud with respect to the active Revit project. The All Cloud Properties dialog will identify which Revit property is out of sync, not synced, or not included in the active model. The Line Patterns tab lists all the line patterns available in the cloud and identifies which ones are in or out of sync with the active project. Just as a reminder, this dialog does not show the line patterns in the active project that are not in the cloud, as this information is available within the Line Patterns dialog under the Project drop-down menu. As shown, most line patterns from the cloud are in the active project but not synced. By selecting the green In Project button within the link icon, we can establish the sync relationship. Later in the video, we will demonstrate how to automate the sync relationship within the project configuration. On the Line Styles tab, many of the line styles are shown to be out of sync with the active project. By selecting the yellow In Project button, the sync relationship between the two can be fixed. Like before, one can compare the difference between the two before finalizing the fix. One can even reverse direction to set the correct settings between the two. On the System Family Types tab, all the system family types in the cloud can be found. Clicking on the Grid Family Types, by there being no In Project button shown, indicates those family types are not present in the active Revit model. This is not limited to the system family types for any of the Cloud Revit properties not in the active model and will not show an In Project button. In order to download the Grid Family Types, one must go to the System Family Types dialog under Guardian Cloud. Navigating to the Grid Family Types, both can be selected to download and sync. Just as before, Guardian will compare with what is being downloaded from the cloud with that in the active project. As shown, the grid line patterns are nested into the grid family types and are synced with one another. Now that the grid types are downloaded from the cloud, one would need to go to Guardian's project properties to compare the grid family types with those that already exist in the active model. As shown, the old standard grid is mapped to the recently downloaded grid family type and is purged from the model. Please refer to the Project Properties video for a complete demonstration of the Project Properties dialog. Coming back to the All Cloud Properties dialog, the grids are now in the project and synced with the cloud. The remaining cloud-hosted system family types and Revit properties function similarly to the ones shown and will not be demonstrated. Also note, Revit end users will have access to the Guardian Cloud Properties menu. They will be permitted to download content from the cloud into their active model, but it will not allow them to upload content to the cloud. Within Project Configurations, under the Sync Properties tab are the settings for automatic sync relationships. The first option is for Guardian to automatically set relationships on properties that have the same name and contents in the cloud. When activated, and when a registered model is opened, Guardian will scan the active project model's Revit properties within and compare them to those within Guardian Cloud Properties. When Guardian does this, the link icon will be displayed with either the In Project or In Cloud buttons. By deselecting this option, this will be performed manually on a property-by-property basis under Project Properties. It is recommended to keep this option off for most day-to-day operations for performance reasons, as Guardian will identify out-of-sync properties with the manual process. The next option is how Guardian is to address an out-of-sync relationship when one is identified. When automatically is selected, Guardian will automatically update the out-of-date Revit property with the active project model with the one in the cloud. When set to manual for admins only, upon opening the project model, Guardian will display a dialog for administrators to fix out-of-sync properties. When Do Not Do Anything is selected, Guardian will not do anything with out-of-sync properties, and administrators must utilize the Project Properties dialog to manually fix out-of-sync relationships. Most firms set this option to Do Not Do Anything to maintain efficient model opening times and educate their administrators to review their out-of-sync properties on a regular basis. To demonstrate the manual sync of Revit properties, a project model is opened. Once Guardian processes the Revit model for the sync relationships, an administrator-only dialog is displayed showing all the synced properties while highlighting which ones are out of sync. This provides administrators an efficient means for resolving Revit properties that are out of sync with the cloud and thus the firm's Revit standards. Key takeaways. Guardian Sync Properties maintains consistency across all projects. The upload sequence matters for nested properties. Regular review of sync status ensures standards compliance, and consider performance impacts when configuring automatic sync. Next steps. Begin by uploading standards from your template file. Gradually implement across projects. Train administrators on maintaining the sync relationship, and consider update protocols for when standards evolve. Thank you for joining this session on Guardian Sync Properties. For more information, visit our resource library.